रोशनी का कारवां।
This podcast is brought to you by Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां, रोशनी। Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां।
Hi, my name is George Abraham and welcome to Eyeway Conversations. My guest today is Nupur Joshi from Mumbai, a young, budding, professional social worker. Hi, Nupur. Swagat hai. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for the opportunity.
Nupur, you are currently working with an organization called SNEHA. Tell us a little bit about SNEHA and what exactly do you do over there?
I am working with SNEHA since last 4 months.
Yeah.
And SNEHA is an organization based in Mumbai. It works on public health. It works with pregnant women. It works with cancer patients. It works with also health systems to be make them aware about what the community's need is and how we can promote better public health in government hospitals. So it works with ASHA workers, provide them training about how to sensitize the community on different issues. And where I am working is a project, EHSAS. It is empowerment, health, adolescents, and sexuality and gender-based awareness we do in that project. So, SNEHA ka full form is Society for Nutrition, Education and Health Action. So, SNEHA. And coming to now my work, we are working currently on a pilot mental health project,
Yeah.
which is focusing on mental health of adolescents, and the project name is Samvad.
Yeah.
So we are training community members from people from the slums who are youth or who are women, which are the bridge between clinical psychologists and the community. Like they identify cases and they put people who are high risk or who are severe to the clinical psychologist. So they
Right.
are the bridge between, the adolescents who want help or who need support. So
Yeah.
we call them Hamrahis,
Yeah.
and they are the people who provide ways for supporting them. And my work there specifically is I am documentation consultant. So whatever the cases are coming,
Yeah.
uska data entry में देखना, teamwork, working with teams who are working on the field, उनको क्या challenges आ रहे हैं, उनसे feedback लेना, clinical psychologist से feedback लेना, and keep the process in the space of clarity. Like my work is to bring clarity in the team in terms of documentation as well as in terms of any challenges they're facing to document the work or anything. So
And now I believe in April you're going to be joining a corporate venture, Tata AIG. So
yes,
what is your role at Tata AIG going to be? What's your profile there?
Tata AIG has begun a process of inclusion. That is, they want across India in their offices diverse staff. So they want people with disabilities in their offices to be joining in. And for that, they have started various initiatives like cultural events and sensitization workshops for their staff. So uh, I will be joining there as an executive inclusion in the CSR and ethics team. And I will be working on designing programs and workshops for the current staff to be sensitized about different kinds of disabilities. And also, if any employee with disability is coming in the office in anywhere, so I will be, and my team will be checking with him ki what are his or her requirements, and ऑफिस के स्ट्रक्चर में क्या चेंज होना ज़रूरी है. So for example, if the person is a wheelchair user, they require washrooms which are accessible, and also floors up down करने के लिए ramps and everything, lifts accessible. So that's what I will be looking on. and also making Tata AIG ka staff go in various NGOs to discover what different disabilities are about and explore the world of different disabilities. So I will be making sure that staff is getting aware about the disabilities, different kinds, and employing people of different disabilities in across uh, Tata AIG's offices.
If you know of anyone with vision impairment who needs guidance on living life with blindness, please share the Eyeway National Toll-Free Helpline number 1800-5320-469. The number is 1800-5320-469.
Alongside your professional work, you also have a podcast. You are a podcaster.
Yes.
Bol Baby Bol, I believe, is the name of your podcast.
Yes,
So,
right.
tell me a little about how you actually decided to do a podcast, and tell us a little bit about the content of the podcast.
Sure. So, Bol Baby Bol is a podcast which I started in last year. And why I started to do a podcast, because it is very comfortable for me. It is an audio medium, so I can do it independently. That's one of the reasons. And the podcast, I believe, is a new uh,
Medium.
मीडियम ऑफ लाइक पहले जैसा रेडियो हुआ करता था, अभी पॉडकास्ट इज बिकमिंग अ मीडियम वेयर पीपल लिसन टू वेरियस stories, experiences, and there are podcasts of various genres also. So I became interested in podcast when I started listening to them on Spotify, and I then thought to myself that why can't I start a podcast? So first I saw my friend, my college friend Jinia, who started her podcast, and then I inquired ki how you did it. Do you have to pay for it or anything? So she said no, there is an application called Anchor on which you can do your own podcast and you can publish it on Anchor. Then it directly goes to Spotify and other platforms as well. So I was very sure that I am going to start the podcast. Then it arrived what topics can I choose? On which topic should I start the podcast? So I thought first season I will do it is on my personal experiences, what I have experienced in all these years as a person with disability, as a visually challenged person, and also some opinions about something. Like I have an episode on importance of sharing, so why sharing is important, and I then connected to my experiences. Like unless and until we share our experiences with others, then they will get to know like uh, our limitations, our challenges, and then they will get aware. So my motto was to uh, make people aware about disability and make them free to be with it. So I have talked there about my fieldwork experiences, my traveling experiences. Also, I have a letter to my grandmother. Like I wrote to a letter to her, and usme bhi I have shared like how she supported me during my childhood to boost my confidence, and how family support is important for a person with disability. So I have first season launched, and I will be launching second season of it, where I will take interviews of people whom we meet on a regular basis, but we meet them for hardly 2-3 minutes or a limited period of time, like delivery workers, watchmen, ऑटो ड्राइवर्स और जो लोग कुरियर देने आते हैं, या फिर वेजिटेबल वेंडर्स, वी मीट देम, वी हैव एन इंटरेक्शन विद देम, but we don't know their challenges or what experiences they are having during their work, और अभी सब ऑनलाइन हो रहा है तो how it is affecting them. So I want to create a conversation where people will get to know about these people's challenges and experiences, and what these people expect from society as a support.
Now, I also believe that you are planning to start a platform called Maitri Katta. So,
Mhm.
and you say this is for working. It's a platform where you bring together maids who work in various houses and at
Yes.
various places. So, tell me a little bit about Maitri Katta, and is this something that you're planning, or this is something that you're already doing?
So this is something I am planning, and my team is already created. So we will start this project from mid of April. We are now going into the communities and telling them, and so basically Maitri Katta is a space. So मैं जब ये लोगों के साथ बात करती थी, with maids I used to talk. From them I got a demand कि when I used to share with them कि in our NGO we have a space for women who talk with each other, who share their experiences, and we have a conversational space where they learn from each other many things. So then a demand came from one or two maids. It come to our place for cooking and cleaning, washing clothes. So she said, "Why can't you create a space for us? Like, uh, we work from morning 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. and we also need a break from our daily routine. And if you create such a space for us where we can share our experiences and we can learn something new, it will be a great work for us, and it will be a break for us from our everyday same daily routine." So I said, sure, we can do that. And I said, then you need to support me, you need to be part of my team because it's your demand. And so we have started now speculating what to do there. It will be a space where twice in a month we will meet, and we will share whatever the community needs to share. Like if they need to discuss how they have been treated by various people. So some people still give them different glasses to drink water, or different plates from the plates which the family uses to, or some buildings have different lifts for maids to be uh, so they are very strict that maids should come from this lift only. So ऐसा बहुत कुछ they want to share with each other. They want to ask each other their experiences. So it is a space where community will share their experiences. They will meet people who are similar to them. They also work as maids, and then they will create a I don't know what is there in future, but I can see a big possibility there that they can train how to create bank accounts or how to use Google Pay. So अभी लोग ना जीपे पे सैलरी देने लगे हैं, and they don't have GPay, या फिर they don't know how to use it, or some of them don't have any bank account. So maybe we can give a training, a short training, basic training to them. So the space is uh, building on with the communities and with their supports.
To support our work with the blind and visually impaired, you can visit the donate page on our website www.scorefoundation.org.in. Please note www.scorefoundation.org.in.
You have a background in social work. You are an MSW from TISS.
Yes.
I'll be interested in knowing, as a blind student,
Mhm.
what was your journey at this like? What were the various things that you did? What were your challenges? And how did you find solutions?
Sure. So in this, first thing which we all as a batch faced is online lectures, and we really missed campus life. But in the last a month, we went to campus, we enjoyed hostel and everything. But online lectures were very challenging for each one of us, and to sit in front of the screen from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. was very challenging. And but we enjoyed because our professors were very supportive. They also provided me and all of the batch, like not just visually challenged students but everybody with soft copies of the study material. We also had an online platform from where we downloaded it. So वहाँ पे पहले accessibility का issue था. We complained to the प्रोफेसर बॉडी की accessibility का थोड़ा सा इधर issue हो रहा है in library especially. So then they resolved the issue. It took some time, but this was very committed to listen to the students. So that's what I found very interesting.
MSW, Master of Social Work, is normally not just a classroom experience. There are also a lot of field work that you do.
Yes,
So,
yes.
how did your batch, since you were in the pandemic time, how did
Hmm.
your batch get to do field work?
Yes, I was exactly coming to that. And so for field work in first semester, we didn't do anything because it was online and lockdown का थोड़ा restriction बहुत ज़्यादा था उस समय पे. So what we did is they invited various NGOs के heads and field workers, and we had a discussion with them about how their NGO works and what communities they work with, and also what challenges they are facing in this time in COVID period. So we had a webinar series in first semester.
Right.
In second semester restrictions became थोड़ा सा कम हो गए थे, सब लोग बाहर निकलने लग गए थे. Then we started to have an online field work. So at that time I was working with SNEHA, but I was working with mother and newborn health. So this project works with pregnant women and infants. So we were talking with women on phone. We were counseling them on the phone. Ki how to take care of yourself during pregnancy, how to go for a test, or how to use contraceptives for future family planning. So we used to do it all on the phone calls and regular phone calls or Google Meet, whatever the community prefers. And also we had trained ASHA workers on the phone calls about तभी pregnant women को vaccine देना allowed नहीं था.
Right.
So we trained them in how to tell them कि vaccine किसको लेना है, नहीं लेना है. And on 8th March, I remember I went for a first time in field work to celebrate Women's Day. I went in a basti. So it was a very amazing day for me. So first time in second semester, we went in field work. And in third and fourth semester, we had finally an offline field work, fully in-person field work. So I went into Jharkhand in the social audit unit department, which is a government ka unit.
Yeah.
And there we need to audit the schemes of the government and send a report to the government. And उस पे फिर कार्रवाई होता था. So what we did is अगर स्कीम में कुछ झोल है, suppose attendance sheet पे names are different and the real names of the people are different, who are really working on the scheme are different people. Sorry, working in fields are different people and names of the people are different. तो ऐसा अगर कुछ है या फिर the money has been passed from the government but it hasn't reached to the women's group और बचत गट जिसे बोलते हैं उन तक नहीं पहुंचा है पैसा. तो
Right.
ऐसे बहुत सारे झोल होते थे and we took interviews of people and we took gram sabhas to present our report कि ऐसा ऐसा हमने आपके साथ बात किया था and this was happened. So is it correct? And we took their signatures and we went to taluka level. जन सुनवाई होती है उधर.
Hmm.
So government officials were present. We presented the report and it was an amazing experience. My Hindi improved there in Jharkhand because everything was in Hindi, and also a rural area and how challenges are very different from urban to rural. That's what I have seen. Casteism I have seen there. They have names of bastis differently, like Yadav Tola, Harijan Tola, and each structure of houses were also different. Like they had colors for Harijan Tola houses, something different, and Yadav Tola houses ka color was also different. And I have seen various challenges women face especially while entering gram sabhas and how they navigate through it. So it was an amazing learning, and we as a batch met for the first time in that field work in Jharkhand. So it was a very amazing time for us as a batch to meet and to really see who we are in person, because until then we have seen all of us on our faces or in black boxes. So now we can meet and we can see each other. So it was an amazing experience, third and fourth semester May. And in fourth semester, I worked with an organization called YUVA, Youth for Unity and Voluntary Action.
Yeah.
And they work with Mumbai's community youth, slum dwellers, and they work on building leaderships with the youth. So they have a project called Anubhav Shiksha Kendra, um, which is experience-based learning, and there they teach them if in their basti they have a problem of suppose sanitation या public toilets नहीं है. So how to go to government officials, how to write an official letter to them, how to complain, how to follow up with that. So these things generally they teach, and they make sure that it is happening on the ground, like youth is doing such a things. So they also started working with children. They have Bal Adhikar Sangharsh Sanghatan, and they had an amazing campaign when we went. So बस्ती में पुलिस जब पेट्रोलिंग करने आती है, at that time in the records in the police station, police were showing कि we were patrolling, but in reality, in that slum, nobody used to come and do patrolling. And there, girls used to feel very unsafe because of use of drugs by people in the slum, or uh, some areas were not safe for playing for children because there were people who drink and sit there or do many different things. So what the children did is they demanded the police to put a barcode on the basti ka areas where they patrol. एंड द बारकोड पे जब तक तुम स्टैम्प नहीं करोगे या ये नहीं करोगे, तब तक वो पुलिस का रिकॉर्ड ही नहीं होगा कि उसने पेट्रोलिंग किया है. एंड इट स्टार्टेड हैपनिंग इन द कम्युनिटी दैट बारकोड्स वर पुट and police were started to come regularly for patrolling, and this is happened because of the children's efforts. So children went there, demanded, yuva volunteers were there for their support, but all the work which children did, and it is bringing confidence in the children. Now they are saying कि हम एक एजेंडा बनाते हैं पॉलिटिशियंस के लिए. उनका जैसे होता है ना पार्टी का एजेंडा, वैसे हम अपने बस्ती के प्रॉब्लम्स का एजेंडा बनाएंगे, and then we will present to the agenda politician, local nagar sevak ya MLA, and they said ki we can't vote, but our parents can vote, right? So the agenda which we are providing to you, it is of our problems in the community, what which we face as children. So if you are going to work for our problems, uh, then we will tell our parents to vote for you. So this is what I found very interesting, that children are taking initiative and working, and youth also doing the same thing.
Nupur, I also was reading that you write stories, you like reading books, you also sing and you also dance.
Yes.
So tell me how all this happened, and how do you find time for all this?
So I once in a week used to go for singing classes.
Yeah.
Now because of workload, I have stopped that, but I will go in future, near futures for sure. But I practice singing and also dance. I used to learn Bharatnatyam. In nearby our house, there was a teacher who used to teach. So I was very fortunate to have everything, and people supported me to be there because my parents also sent me there. So that's what I can appreciate about them, that whatever I wanted to do, they allowed me to do it. They never said ki, disability hai, you can't dance, you can't do this, how will you manage? They just said to me that yes, go ahead and do it. So it wasn't there I learned like how family support is important for a person with a disability. So how I find time is like I practice singing and I read stories from Facebook. We have pages like Humans of Bombay, Akkar Bakkar. So these pages I love because they share various experiences of different people. So I read their stories and I listen to various podcasts. From there, read various stories and interviews of people. And then, when it comes to writing stories, I write my stories of everyday experiences. I write imaginary stories also, and stories to create awareness. Also, I have written a small skit.
So, Nupur, it's wonderful talking to you, and thank you for taking the time. Wish you the very best. You have a very action-packed life, so keep it going, and wish you the very best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Highway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.
This podcast was brought to you by Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां.